folks, if you're new to the channel, my name is Brad, and today we're hiking up into the mountains of Vermont in search of an old stone foundation of a home that used to be up here from probably 150, 200 years ago. You know, it's funny, if you look at current maps of Vermont, and probably anywhere in New England that has mountains like this, you'll see up the side of the mountain a dead end, on the other side of the mountain a dead end, and if you look at a map from the 1800s, you'll see that that road continued right up over the top, and people lived on it the whole way over. Today, I got a phone call from the person who lives at the end of the dead end. He owns all of this land now, and he invited me out to do some metal detecting. Now, people came out of the mountains probably 100 years ago. Roads opened up down in the valleys. People started driving cars, and it's just way easier to go around the mountain than it was to go up over the top on horseback. So all these places are now deserted. We're going to see what we can find with our metal detector today. Alright, well, we made it. You know, hiking along the trail is very obvious. There are stone walls absolutely everywhere here, and then right off the side we have a very large foundation, and the big pile of stones in the middle was the support for the chimney. Now, according to the old map, this was a farm. There was a man and a woman and multiple children. You can see this whole area is very cleared out, so there's lots of area for us to do some metal detecting. Now, if you're familiar with my older videos, if I find a really good target, I'll set down the camera and film the whole process of what the number is and the digging, and then showing what I found. But I have a fairly new metal detector today, and I am not very familiar with it, so I probably won't be doing a whole lot of that today. I'm still not really sure what a good target sounds like, so there's going to be lots of digging of trash. I can't make any promises, but I'll do my best. We're going to get it out and see what we can find here. Okay, well, we just got our first little target here, all brass, and it's a pretty good sign. Check this out. This is part of a pocket watch. It was on the inside. It's all brass, and you can tell long ago it was gold plated. Sometimes we get lucky and there's some patent dates or something on here, but it looks like this one is blank. I suspect there's going to be more of it around here. We're going to look. Maybe we can find the frame. That would be amazing. This is a great sign. Nice loud brass targets out here. It could very well have been a coin. Let's keep going and see if we can find one. Well, this is a new one on me. I mean, obviously, I've used these before, but I've never found one metal detecting. That's a doorknob. Probably the mid-1800s. It's very light. It makes me wonder if this was, you know, like a interior door. Some of the lock work is back here. Back in my early 20s, my then girlfriend, now wife, and I purchased a very rough home, fixer-upper, that was built in like 1850, and all of the doorknobs were glass or crystal. I would love to find something like that, but this is probably something that was a little bit more modest back then. Would have been less expensive. It's a good find for sure. Makes sense where we found it. We're, you know, right next to the building here. Awesome. Keep going. All right, well, I just got a pretty exciting find here. When I first dug it up, I noticed how shiny it was. I thought for sure that this was going to be modern garbage. And I started cleaning it off, and I noticed there's like graduations on here. It goes from like 50, 253, 354, 450, all the way up to 5. And the way it's written, it certainly seems like it's money. And on this side, there is text. The B&R MFG Co. New York. And then there's dates on there, 1890 and 1891. They're the patent dates. And you know what I think this is? I'm looking at this. You see this slot? That looks like a perfectly sized slot to fit a coin in. Doesn't it? And then the graduations would have been how much money is in this? Is this like a bank? Like a, not like, obviously not like a piggy bank, but something to store coins in? Do you think there's any coins in it? I'm going to stick my jackknife in there, do my very best to pry it open without breaking it, and we'll see if there's anything in this. Alright, here we go. I'll stick this in here. That'd probably be enough right there. Give it a tap, tap, tap. Doesn't seem like it, unfortunately. Can you imagine if this thing was full of silver coins? Alright, well, we're going to check the hole and just, double check that it wasn't full when it hit the ground and they kind of fell out over time. But that's a really interesting find. It looks like probably dime size. I guess that would probably make sense. Alright, well, hey, let's keep going. This is something I've never found before. Exciting. Love stuff like this. Let's keep going. So I haven't really been out here very long. The leaves are a little bit wet as I'm walking along, and it feels like every step I take, I get this smell. I can't describe it to you, but it's something I grew up smelling. I don't know its real name, but I grew up calling it a stink bug. I don't think it's called a stink bug. It's like a pine beetle, spruce beetle, something like that. But they have this very distinct kind of like sour, sweet smell. It's not bad. It's very unique. This is kind of the time of year where they're out doing their thing, and they're just absolutely everywhere. I must be stepping on them, and they're releasing this smell. So that's what the woods smells like today. It's kind of cool. It's not bad. Let's keep going and see if we can find something. We've got a very, very common find here at sites of the mid-1800s. Part of a harmonica reed plate. There's probably a second one around here somewhere. And I don't usually show these. Sometimes I'll find 5 or 6 of these. But I wanted to point out right here, I'm kind of on the edge of the basement here. And it looks like it washed out over time. And there's stuff laying on the surface. Pottery. And this is just like a minefield of glass. I just saw a particularly dangerous one here a minute ago. So we will not be digging with our hands today. We have a shovel for that. But yeah, we don't want to stick our hands in here because we'll get cut for sure. Just because the glass is a couple hundred years old doesn't mean it's not sharp anymore. That's for sure. We'll throw this in the bag. Keep on going here. Alright, well, nobody's going to believe this. There's no way I can prove that this actually happened. But I was just walking along, and this is kind of the area where all that glass is on the surface. And do you see this right here? I know the sun is blowing out the camera lens a little bit, but look at that. That is a clay marble. That's incredible. It's just out on the surface here. It would have been probably right below the surface, and then the rain washed it, and it's not even dirty, it's clean. These are obviously impossible to find with a metal detector, so the only way you're able to find these is by eyeballing them. Usually I find them while digging holes. Little clay marble, children's toy. That's awesome. I'm going to throw this in the bag. Stick around this area some more. Alright, well, excuse the sun, it's shining right on the hole here. I haven't really cleaned this up yet, but I just got a very, very loud target. And there is quite a bit of sheet metal around here, so I've been avoiding some of those targets. But this winds up being what appears to be a little box of some kind. The lid is missing. It does not appear to have any contents. I'm wondering if this was like a little jewelry box, or... Whenever I find little boxes like this, a lot of commenters are just absolutely obsessed with calling everything a snuff box, which is like a tobacco product. I'm not so sure. Typically the snuff boxes that I've seen pictures of online are very, very intricate and were special. I'm not sure that this fits the bill for that, but you never know. Maybe somebody had this and this is what they decided to keep their snuff in. I'm going to check the hole to make sure it wasn't full of gold coins. They never are. Just more of the box. Nice, it's all back together again. That's why we double check the hole. Yeah, there are definitely hinges here. And let me check one more time here. Alright, no, that's it. There was just nails in there. Beautiful. Alright, let's stick around this area. Seems like there's a lot of good stuff here. Whew. Alright, well I just got a target that I was very unsure about. It was pretty good, but I don't know if you can see right here, there's like some, I don't even know what this is, wire of some kind. It's like it's steel. But I just got a piece of jewelry. I never find jewelry at sites of this age. I think that it's either very, very good plating or it's going to be solid silver. Let me get my toothbrush and water and stuff. Alright, well I got it cleaned up and it looks like it was probably a pin. There's a piece of kind of a hinge. And, you know, I was looking at the back, I couldn't really see any hallmarks or anything that would indicate that it was solid silver. And I flipped it over, and I never would have expected they'd put this on the front, but check this out. See that? Sterling. They put it right on the front. I can count the amount of pieces of jewelry from this era on one hand. They don't come up very often. This one is especially beautiful. Look at all of that intricate work. I can even see now that I'm looking at it here, like right here, that's a little solder joint. Somebody hand assembled this and soldered it together. I'm gonna take a wild guess, judging by the other things we found here, probably 1850s, mid-1800s. Absolutely beautiful. Well, that is the find of the day so far, for sure. Let's keep going and see if we can find some more stuff like this. You know, I don't know what's going on this year, but September 1st came and went a couple days ago, and like a switch went off. Some of the trees are starting to turn already. There's a chill in the air in the morning. I'm not ready for winter quite yet. I feel like just a few weeks ago I was waiting for the snow to melt out of the mountains. Now here we are, and the leaves are starting to change again. And hunting seasons are going to be starting again soon. And I'm always out on these pieces of land with permission from the landowner. I always talk with them to make sure there's not going to be any hunters out here on a day I'm metal detecting. You know, people trespass, people don't know where they're at, they pass property lines. We just have to be careful. Pretty soon we'll start wearing our orange. Not yet though, still got a few weeks left. Well, I just found something here which, you know, I'm not sure exactly what it is. I have some guesses. It's a piece of brass, fairly thin, and in the shape of a fairly shallow cone here. There's some of it missing on this side. There might still be some in the hole, but it's super intricate. There's all kinds of stuff on here. So we're going to clean this off together and see if maybe we can get to the bottom of what it is. What do you think? Is there any text? Text would be ideal. Oop, looks like I had it upside down. Look at that. That is a crown. You know, I don't know. My guess usually is when we find things like this, it's like the bottom of a cane. But if it was down like this, that would be upside down because the crown goes this way. Sometimes we find things similar to this that are at the top of a parasol. But this, usually those have closed tops. So I'm not sure that's what this is either. End of a flagpole. You know, the possibilities are endless what this could have been. It's just an adornment for something. If anybody out there recognizes that design of a crown on top of a bunch of flowers, please let me know. It doesn't appear to be any text of any kind. Probably on the piece that I'm missing, right? Oh well, it's still a very cool find, whatever it happens to be. Let's keep going. Maybe we'll find the rest of it and figure it out. Alright, well, you know, I wasn't going to show this because I'm not entirely sure what it is. It's a big piece of brass. It looks like it's probably a pulley of some kind. It's got a groove in the side of it. And earlier today, I actually found this, which God, does it go together? Do these things fit together? I think they do. Let me clean this out a little bit. Yeah, they certainly seem to. I bet if I clean the dirt out a little bit better, they'd fit perfectly. But, you know, I have to assume that's a pulley of some kind. Why it's in two parts, I don't know. Is it a sewing machine? I'm trying to think of what would have pulleys like this that would kind of be in the home around 1850. Maybe a big clock, like a mantle clock of some kind. I don't know. You folks let me know what you think, but I found 2 pieces of it already. Maybe if we find more, we can get to the bottom of it, but pretty cool. All right, well, I just got something here. It didn't bring up very high. I mean, it was kind of like a shotgun shell target. And I got it out of the hole. This is what it looks like. It's heavy. God, I'm pretty sure that this is a counterfeit coin. And it looks like it has a design on there like stars. This is definitely not silver. So if this is meant to be a counterfeit coin, it would have been $1, I guess. I'm gonna get it cleaned up and see what we've got here. Oh my God, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, I think we got it here. So I've been spraying it and hitting it with my toothbrush. You can really only see it in the right light when it's wet, because this thing is certainly not silver. I think it's like a lead or a really heavy pewter, but you can see that. That's a drape bust facing right. It's got a little ponytail on the left side there. At the bottom, I think it's 1794 or 1795. And on the back, we have a shield with an eagle, United States of America. That's incredible. A counterfeit coin, silver coin. This would have been obviously shiny at the time, passed off as the real thing. This is absolutely incredible. I never would have imagined the history of counterfeit coins unless I was out here finding them for myself. Well, let's end this day on a high note. It's been a long one. We're gonna get everything out, see what we found here today. Alright, well, we got everything all laid out here. We'll take a look at it all in a second. And, you know, setting up that coin, positioning it, and it took a while for it to hit me, but I kind of got the shakes a little bit. It's just such an incredible find. You know, had it been a real silver dollar, you know, that would have been something all its own. But in a way, a real one, it was money. They got it, they spent it, came and went. But this one, as a counterfeit, it has a more interesting story. I'm not entirely sure what that story might be, but it certainly has one. Let's take a look at everything here. All right, not a ton of stuff today, but man, the things that we found, incredible in my opinion. We did get an oil lamp. We have the little box, which is broken. I'd love to hear your opinions about what you think somebody might have kept in that 150 years ago. I did find the other, you know, side of the harmonica, and I did find another reed. So we got 1.5 harmonicas. A doorknob, clay marble, 1, 2, and I actually found a third pulley here. I assume they all went to the same thing. Again, is it a sewing machine? Is it a clock? Let me know what you think. Piece of pocket watch here. This flagpole is my best guess. Again, let me know what you think. We have a bank. Empty, unfortunately, but I believe this would have been for dimes, judging by the size. Our silver pin, probably, sterling silver. And then, last but not least, the star of the show there, our counterfeit silver dollar. And the date, I'm not entirely sure. It's definitely 17 something, whether it's 99 or 97. All in all, excellent day with an excellent ending. All right, folks, I want to thank you again for coming out here into the mountains with me. I had a great time. Hope you did as well. And hopefully I'll see you next Friday for another new video out here.